Hello, everyone. I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing a CSM surprise, whatever the hell's going on with Lightning Collection, and hey, Senpai got sub, so I guess we'll talk about that too. But before all that, Buster, how you doing?
I am okay. We're back to that old joke from 50 episodes ago.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, but legit, I'm chipping away at the Ryuki script, hoping to get it done and out by the end of this week. Probably when Vac releases his new video, which hey, you got that done.
Yeah, that's kind of like the silver lining, because otherwise this week's been ass for me.
Yeah.
Not even like regular ass. We got swamp ass going on.
Yes, special kind of butts. Yeah.
Whoa.
I'll write that down.
I'm writing it down too. But you know what else is special? Helping out Modular Media. So why don't y'all do that if you enjoy this podcast? I don't know why the fuck you would, but give us a like, comment down below, subscribe, ring that bell. You get the notifications of this show and all the other shows we do on this fucking channel going live. There's no prize. We talk about comics, I think.
You think?
I think. I'm not sure. I'll get confirmation from Boingo later. There's components. It's a show where things happen. It's kind of like our Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's a show about nothing.
And then there's nothing. There's nothing else. Nothing else happens on this channel. Shut up.
Yeah. Legit.
Before we get into the news proper, I want to give a quick little update. I'm a fucking idiot. SDCC was not this weekend, or last weekend rather. It's this coming weekend. I don't know why I thought it was this weekend. I think somebody said something to that effect to me, and maybe I just didn't catch that they were talking about the weekend we're about to have, and I was like, oh, okay, it's this weekend. And then I just went with that narrative. So I did a little fucky wucky. We don't have any SDCC news this week, except for the fact that there's not really a Power Rangers panel. Hasbro put out their full official schedule, and we also got a general SDCC one that people have combed over. There is a panel for Power Ranger actors that are guests at SDCC, but none of them are the current cast. There is a Boom Studios panel about the comics, and we'll probably find out who's taking over after Ryan Parrott and Matt Groom leave, but we won't cover that because we're not a comic podcast. But there's no Dino Fury panel, there's no Power Rangers products panel, but every other Hasbro property has a panel of some sort, which is highly suspect.
Very concerning.
We'll get a little bit more into things with Lightning Collection and whatnot later, but people have been kind of a bit worried about the status of the line, especially because pretty much everything that they've announced, except for the Zap Megazord, has now shipped to some level. So there's a weird drought of product going on right now, and we don't know when the next batch of Dino Fury episodes is going to hit Netflix. So it's kind of like, hey, what's going on? Now, of course, I like to err on the side of optimism and hope as much as possible because I'm a filthy Kamen Rider Wizard fan. So I'm going to say maybe possibly they're not doing an SDCC panel because they're trying to hold back news for August. Maybe we're going to get a big Power Month rollout of some kind. That would be best case scenario after the way things have been all summer, in my opinion. But I'm not 100% going to say I'm expecting that to happen. That's just that's the only logical explanation I can think for the weird status of Power Rangers news over the last couple months. At this point, we thought it was going to be they're readjusting for plastic-free packaging and to address some fan complaints, and then we got leaks that disproved that, and I think we had a couple other theories, but at this point, I'm just maybe Power Month.
Yeah, it's weird. The biggest Power Rangers news we've gotten all summer is that Hasbro's playing ball with Shout and Toei again and are releasing 5-Man on DVD, which isn't even like Power Rangers adjacent in any kind. It's just, the Sentai DVDs are back, which is more of a Sentai thing.
Yeah, I
So
was
it's
going to
just,
say, is that even Hasbro news? I thought we heard something to the effect of they went directly to
no,
Toei for that.
E1 was still E1. They mentioned E1 in the press release.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm stupid.
Yeah, no, it's just lots of misinformation was spreading around that thing. It's fine.
Yeah. So that's the status of SDCC as it stands. Hopefully, we'll get some kind of announcement coming out of SDCC about what they're planning for Power Rangers in the future. But that's purely conjecture on my part. I think we need to just accept that we're probably not going to have much Power Rangers news to talk about next week. But that's fine because there's an oddly large amount to talk about later on in the show. But we'll get into that when we get into that. First off, let's move into the news main part. And we're going to start off with Ultraman stuff. First off, Premium Bandai has announced they are going to be releasing an Ultra Replica Dark Ring, which is the transformation device of Jugless Juggler from Ultraman Orb, I believe.
Yes, correct. And it will have voice clips from him, and you'll basically be able to do his monster summons from that show, which is dope. And that Juggler's a pretty cool character, so if you want to go, rep your Juggler love, go get it.
Nice. I only know Juggler from Zet, but I really liked him in Zet.
Yeah.
It looks like this has cards for all the Zet mechs, which is interesting.
Yeah, with these new CSM new generation stuff, they put stuff from after that show. Like the Jeed and Orb ones have cards from after their series, which are super dope.
That's really cool. And again, I haven't seen Orb, but I do like the general design of the transformation devices in Orb because they have that kind of factor of this doesn't look like it makes no sense, but it's kind of a cool alien artifact type looking thing, which is generally what I like in a changer, especially for a show like Ultraman.
Yeah, and you can watch Ultraman Orb on Tubi and Shout Factory TV if you're in America and buy a Blu-ray set. All right, I'm done chilling. But legit, it's easy to access Orb. Go.
I'll get to it. I swear.
Okay.
I gotta finish my dealings with the Century Kings first.
Okay.
But
speaking of Kings,
yeah. Ultra Replica has also teased that they're going to be doing some kind of project regarding the original Ultraman and Ultra 7. We don't have any details beyond that, just new products. There's going to be an announcement tomorrow when you're listening to this. So we'll probably have full details on what this is next week. If I had to guess, I'd say it's new Ultra Replica toys of their changers.
I can see that. Either way, nice to always more Ultra 7 is good for the world.
Yeah. Want to move into Kamen Rider news?
Yeah, why not?
So this broke right after we finished recording last week, and it's still not officially confirmed, but a company called Motor Crimp Media has announced that they will be doing a shirt based off of the original Kamen Rider. They're a fairly new clothing company by the looks of it, and we have no idea if this is officially licensed or not. All I can find on them is their Twitter and their website, and it says that they only became a company in May of this year. So either they got really lucky and got a hold of that license super quick, or this is unlicensed stuff. And I have no way of telling either way. They're also doing an Ichigo hat I just saw looking at their profile page again. So these products look good. I just have no idea if they're official or not. So
yeah.
We'll keep the link in the video description or the description for whatever podcasting platform you're listening on, because you can listen to us on any platform carried through Anchor. But yeah, this is just a weird kind of enigma thing. I even publicly reached out to them with a quote retweet and was like, "Are you guys official or not?" I haven't gotten any response. So that's
they're responding to other people. So I'm like, maybe we're just not I
don't have those numbers.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
But we do have some definitely official Kamen Rider news in that there is a new trailer for Kamen Rider Revice Battle Familia, which
comes out this week.
Yeah, and this trailer heavily features the Dance song that Da Ice did. And it's very fun. Lots of new footage, lots of interesting little tidbits here and there. I'm still not super hyped for this movie, but it doesn't look as paint by numbers as I initially thought it did. It looks a little more interesting after this trailer.
Yeah, like I would like, like it's not dealing with the main Revice plot, which I've kind of been mixed on. So it's like, and I still like these characters, so it's like it's nice to see them like do. And also just honestly, that dance song got me kind of hype, but also the promise of Kamen Rider Igarashi at the end of the trailer, which is it's basically they're just pulling an Ultraman Rube with the movie.
Everybody's gonna do a big old fusion dance.
Yeah, or just fusion standstill. Either way. I don't know. Speaking of Revice and specials,
we've got new images from Girls Remix, and with that, the announcement that there's 2 more returning actors for this feature. I was about to say that the actresses for Poppy Pipa Papo and Akiko Narumi will be returning.
Yeah.
And they've also said that there's going to be more that we're not going to see until the trailer drops on the 22nd. So this looks like it's just going to be a big, huge, like, female modern Kamen Rider character celebration, which is kind of cool.
Okay, one request. Can we get Fam from Ryuki?
That would be great. I would like to see.
She was the first one, so it's like.
I would like to see Mariko come back and get kind of a redemption, because I don't think they've really done anything with her since Gaim or Marika. Sorry.
Isn't she?
Yeah, but I'm saying like you could. You
could put some special bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of someone else I'd like to come back.
Yeah, there just is not many female Kamen Riders, and I don't think Mayu is retired from Wizard, so rip on that.
Is Tackle's actress still alive?
I don't know, or like even just a Tackle, just like someone becoming Tackle would be neat.
That would be amazing if they got her actress back just for one scene.
Yeah, well, let me look up Strong. I should know these things because I love Stronger the most out of any show or writer. Let me look up Kawata Oda. She is currently. Oh no, she died in '86.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Rest to a legend.
But no, this seems like a really fun project, despite my reservations about the person heading it up. I think it'll at least be
Sakamoto. Yeah. Oh God. I keep forgetting. I keep thinking this is like a Shida request, but then I keep remembering who the director is.
I think we gotta wait for the trailer at least. But so far, it doesn't look like he's doing anything remotely suggestive with these characters.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's just a fun, light, getting all these characters together thing.
Yeah, and it's also just nice that Akiko returns as Futo PI is about to start airing in August, so, nice cross-promotion.
I hope they drop some kind of reference to what's going on with her and Axel right now, because the last time we saw anyone from Double was when Axel showed up in that Drive movie.
No, wait, it was Revice, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's
right. The history.
It's almost like that was forgettable bullshit.
I mean, it was fine forgettable bullshit, but it kind of was it wasn't nearly as plot important as Veil, so.
Did he make reference to his family at all in the mystery?
He did. I think he did. He did. Yeah.
Like, again, I haven't seen Double, but I've seen Double characters pop up in other things, and like my most fond memory of anything Double is just that one scene in the Drive V cinema where he's on the phone with his kid and just like walking out of the movie.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, double good. Go watch it if you can, and you aren't fat.
I'll get to it. There's too much fucking tokusatsu.
Yeah, you're right. But in a good way.
Yeah. All right, let's finish out the writer news with something kind of inexplicable.
Yeah.
So y'all may remember months and months ago, there was a statement put out by Bandai that people who bought, or no, it was Team Rider via Bandai, said that they would not be putting the Super Sentai cards in with the American release of the CSM Decadriver version 2. And that toy has actually been shipping out to a lot of people recently, and the cards are still there.
And now the entire impetus for one of my most popular videos has been disproven twice.
Ha! Get wrecked.
Yeah, although this is like of all the videos for me to disprove, this is the one I'm happy to be the most disproved.
Yeah. I wonder Like the only thing I can think of is either there was some kind of factory error or Bandai was literally like, okay, we're gonna say it is, and then we're gonna put them in anyway for appearances' sake.
Yeah,
Because
or
if
did they
if
maybe just got too hassled? They just decided to pay the extra money to Hasbro, which I think is the thing.
it might have been, but no, this is really cool. I'm glad that people are still getting the complete version of the toy they wanted, and the only way this could be like more like making the only way this could make me more happy is if instead of Rekka Daizanto that card said Fire Smasher, just because I would be like that's the funniest shit ever.
Oh,
They,
that would be funny. I think I saw a couple people joking about that, but no, I think it's like the first untranslated like Shinken, like un-samurai Shinkenger we've gotten officially in America.
uh, they did release the figure arts
Yeah, I think you're right.
over
You're right. You're
here.
right. Yeah, but that was also samurais. But yeah,
They,
yeah,
they just put like a samurai banner over the boxes.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, no, that's really cool. I'm happy for people who bought that toy. I didn't because I thought it was way too expensive for what it was. But that's great. That's good. And let's use that to transition from Rider news into Sentai news with the fact that hey, if you watch this episode of Donbrothrs, you know there was a gag with Kaito getting a photo book, and typical Bandai and Toei being Bandai and Toei, that photo book is real and you can pre-order it.
That's amazing. I love it. They're crazy
Yeah.
and I love it. And honestly, like out of all the characters to get a photo book in this show, I feel like a character who's been around for like I think almost like a year plus in Sentai is probably the best one to do it around.
Oh yeah, no, he's got like a year and a half now.
Yeah, like well, I was gonna say two, but like yeah,
I love how
yeah.
I love how this actor has like sort of taken over for Aka Red as like just the mascot of Super Sentai.
Yeah, which I think was the intention, because when you look at Zenkaiser, that's a very mascot, like the whole brand design.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But no, cool little piece of Don Brothers merch out there for those of you who want it.
Speaking of cool Don Brothers,
Let's talk about the gayest shit alive. There's a character song video for Momo, Taro, and Sonoi, and the video is very suggestive. I don't know what
yeah,
the lyrics are, but I'd imagine they're suggestive as well.
it's very homoerotic, and I love it. And also, I'm just glad that like Don Brothers is slowly trickling out character songs and insert songs, because we already have the battle insert song and the mecha insert song for like the base team, like full versions out already. So it's like I'm glad they're trickling out releases, because I've had this problem with Sentai and Rider for a while, where it's like I want to get the character songs, I don't want to wait till the end of the show to like get all the full versions, you know?
Yeah, the characters, for as long as I've been watching Sentai, it's always like the character songs drop like in the last 10 episodes of the show, and it's completely up in the air if us Americans will be able to find them at all.
Yeah, I mean we will find them. It's just only at the end of the show, you know?
Yeah. Like I still remember like watching the penultimate episode of Tokuger and then somebody being like, yo, I got a raw download of the character song album if anybody wants it. And I was like, oh shit, let's go.
Yeah, although like the character songs and insert songs are completely different things. Because character songs are sung by their actors, while like insert songs are like in show, like battle tunes. Like character songs are usually served for end to whatever. I'm getting too technical.
I think you're a little confused there as well, because like the technical stuff is more background music.
Yeah,
Insert songs are typically sung by a band that Toei has on retainer, or sometimes they will have the actors sing those as well. Depends on the show.
yeah.
But yeah, let's move into some Power Rangers news now and
Oh
talk
boy.
about the shit I've been alluding to. So for those of you who aren't exactly in the know, about a year ago, I think it was almost exactly a year ago. We had a leak of the Lightning Collection In Space Silver toy, and we found out it was going to be a Walgreens exclusive. And we waited and we waited and we waited for Hasbro to say something about that, and they never did. This toy has never been officially announced, and yet this past week, for about a half hour, it went up for sale, as in stock for shipping on the Walgreens website, and it was listed as Dino Thunder Silver.
It still is.
Yeah, like that listing is still up. Is it currently in stock?
No, it's out of stock. Either people
Okay.
bought so much of it, or they just Hasbro put a ban on it. I don't know what's going on
No,
there.
I think it went out of stock. And it's like everybody just bought all the ones they had on the system that day,
Yeah.
and now we've been waiting for a restock ever since, or like official word from Hasbro, or just stuffing about this fucking figure. This has been like one of the most bizarre Lightning Collection things in a bit. Second only to something else we'll be talking about in just a minute. But before that, I have to also say, apparently, a figure we did have announced, the metallic version of Mighty Morphin White, was randomly found at a local Australian retailer called Angel Grove Collectibles. They're an online only store based out of Australia, and they just randomly got a case of the metallic Lightning Collection MMPR White in. And like, I'm not super jonesing for that figure, but this is the only way it's ever been available. And like, I was under the impression that this was going to be a Pulse exclusive. What the heck? What is going on?
And now American Tyrannosaurus Sentries are showing up.
Yeah, people have just been finding the Target exclusive Tyranno Sentry Lightning Collection figure in Targets all across the Midwest.
Oh wait, that's my area. I gotta go to Target to figure find
One of
something.
the Buster, one of these was found in your state.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm checking.
Uh,
Because
but
I actually legit want this figure.
oh yeah, I want it too. And like, this figure has also been an insane saga of like, they announced it, they never said when it was going up for pre-order. It randomly went up for pre-order one day, and then a bunch of people got their pre-orders canceled because Target system is ass. And then everybody who didn't get their pre-order canceled, the delivery date was updated to 2099. And now this thing's just showing up in stores. And as if that weren't enough, Wild Force Blue leaked from the same person who leaked Dino Thunder Yellow a couple weeks ago. And it has the fucking inaccuracy of they put blue on the handles for his crystal saber.
Who cares? Personalizes a bit. They're not really that big.
I mean, it looks like a good figure. I still want it, but like, well, the max likeness could be better. But all this Lightning Collection news, and we're gonna save the other thing for after we're done talking about this. I've just made an executive decision about. It's just bizarre, especially because somebody, I'm not sure who, because nobody can find the account anymore. Somebody randomly started a rumor this week that Lightning Collection is going to get canceled after the next wave, and they're going to reformat to something else with no source, no like legitimacy. Just some random Twitter user did that, and then their account got deactivated for a few days, and then it was locked, and it's been that way ever since, and nobody can get me to link. Like, I've had people actually contact me and be like, hey, I know what the account was called, but we can't get it up anymore because it's locked.
Oh, what's going on?
So, like, that combined with the fact that there is no product panel at SDCC, this has been the most bizarre week of Power Rangers news in a long time. And
Is it even news?
It is news because this is like sightings and products becoming available, but we have no real idea what is going on. There's no official word for Hasbro, and there's still been no Hasbro streams since that terrible one back in, was it May? I feel like it was May.
August, April.
May or April. That one that was half a Transformers stream and then 10% a Power Rangers stream. That was the last time Hasbro said anything official. Because I think, wasn't the hashtag We Love Power Rangers thing that got the initial reveal of Wild Force Blue just before that, or was it after?
After. It was after. It was a response to that.
Okay, so that was the last bit of official news, and now there's not going to be a panel at SDCC. My God, we have had like a micro Lightning Collection discussion every week for the last couple weeks, but they really need to have some kind of strong rollout during August. Like, there needs to be consistent positive announcements during August. They basically need to do what G.I. Joe did this last June. They need to have a live stream a week and announcing interesting things, putting up pre-orders, telling us things about the line that give us renewed confidence in it. And if they're able to do that, I will again copy G.I. Joe, top it off with the first HasLab, and announce that on Power Ranger Day. Like that's the only way I think they can restore confidence in the brand at this point. They just need an insanely good rollout during August.
Yeah, like I want to believe that they're like gonna have this big blowout in August, or they're working on reformatting and they're just shitting out the last of the Lightning Collection just so they can prepare this big new stuff they've been happening. Because I've had like even before this rumor started, I've been thinking, what if they just relaunched relaunched the Lightning Collection and like for the plastic free packaging initiative.
Yeah, like a soft relaunch.
Like, that's what I was gonna say. Like, just new packaging, new wave, maybe a new title, or like Lightning Collection Plus or something. I don't know. I'm a Nintendo fan.
Go to like an updated articulation scheme as well. I don't know what exactly that would be, but like maybe make it. I hate to keep hitting this note, but maybe make the articulation somewhat similar to the current GI Joe line.
Yeah, like I don't know what's going on with the like. Honestly, between all this and the fact that there's like no show for a bit, I've kind of just lost interest in Power Rangers, and I hate to do that because I like being the Power Ranger hype guy. But like, even like if Hasbro's like gonna do this and just not communicate, like not even like a vague business statement saying, "Oh, we're experiencing technical difficulties" or something. I just can't like I can't bat for them anymore, and I'm like that. Like I think I've become like infamous on Twitter for I don't think anyone said this about me, but I've kind of been like batting for Hasbro a bit. Like this is why they do what they do, and I can't even do that now because I don't know what they're doing.
I'm not quite at that point. I still want to hold out some hope, but this has just been a really weird week for Power Rangers news, and
yeah, and I
hope once we're past SDCC, things can get better.
Yeah, and like some people are upset that like, oh, Hasbro's not going to be at Power Morphicon, and I'm like, I guess that's a bummer, but like Power Morphicon shit anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, that's my response. I'm like, why would they be? They don't do that. They haven't done that in years. They stopped going to BotCon years ago. They don't go to Joe Fest. They don't. That's not what they do. Hasbro likes having their own events or being at the big mainstream things.
Yeah, and I guess like we're Power Rangers. Like I do say like I do think. No, like I do think like there's some aspect of Power Rangers fans like being upset that they're not the A brand of their company anymore. But at the same time, there's a lot of justified upsetness, and I feel like either we all gotta like distract ourselves of our other interest, or we just gotta like accept that like it's gonna be dry for a while. You know,
because the biggest, most official Power Ranger news this week we got is more like a general Hasbro announcement, which is just they officially announced the Selfie series, which we knew was coming for a long, long time. It leaked several months ago due to the developer version of Pulse going live for a few hours one night, but we got the official rollout of it here, which if you haven't heard, we talked about it a bit the other night on No Prize. But basically, it's if you have the Hasbro Pulse app, you can pay $60 to have your face scanned. They will 3D print a custom head and put it on one of several action figure bodies they have available. The only Power Ranger ones, though, are MMPR Red and Pink.
Which I mean, if they're gonna add more to it, I think those are the first two good ones to do. But like other than that, just
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've kind of said my piece on this in multiple places. Again, we talked about it on No Prize. I also did a Twitter thread the day this was announced. I think it's like a really good attempt to kind of get in on a part of the markets that previously nobody at like a big company level was filling. It was all customizers, but I just don't like the body selection. I feel like it could be way better. It feels more like it's trying to reach a mainstream audience rather than the actual diehard toy collectors who are going to want to do this.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised that there's no Tommy. I mean, like, Power Rangers fans would complain anyway, but like, I'm just surprised they didn't put a Tommy because everyone wants to be the Green Ranger. Like, so
there should be Tommy, and there should also be every Red Ranger. I feel like, and at least most of the Pink Rangers they've done.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe throw a blue in there. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. And I'd also just like a civilian body of some kind that like doesn't look overtly like it's somebody cosplaying. I want more bodies in this that look like I could put that in the background of a display or a figure photography, and it would be believable that that's just someone else in the universe filling out the background. But that's me. That's just my own anal toy collectorness talking. But yeah, if you're interested in that, it definitely is going to be worth the price in my opinion, because it's going to be $60 per figure, which sounds a bit steep, but when you consider you're getting a custom head and a body, whereas if you're going through a customizer, an individual person, it's going to be a custom head and nothing else for about that much, and it's going to vary on how quick they can get it to you, whereas Hasbro will probably be able to give you regular updates about when it's shipping and whatnot. I think it's worth the price. But that's about all there is for the news. So, Buster, why don't we get into some new releases?
All right. Ultraman Decker, Episode 2, Kanata's Resolve. I'm enjoying the show.
I'm really warming up to it. Yeah. This is a very fun episode, and I like how we really took our time with getting him to join the team. Like, if I look back at it, it's probably the same amount of time it took for what's his face to join the TPU and Trigger, but like it feels much more deliberate, and like we're really getting to know this cast.
Yeah, like there's like emphasis put on the training. Like it takes guts to become a gut select, you know?
Yeah, and I like that. That's fun. That's kind of throwbacky in a way.
Yeah, and also just like it gives us our characters the chances to like say their resolves and like do all the just all that good character building and stuff.
We get a lot of time to really hang out and bond with the cast and get to know them as characters before we're just plunged into a ton of plot shenanigans. Which again, big step up from Trigger, where it felt like it was almost always about the plot, except for the 10 seconds an episode we take to give somebody character development, and I'd be like, what, where, what, huh?
Yeah.
Whereas this, I know I kind of have a feel for everyone in this cast already. Like, even though the vice captain lady, she barely gets anything to do this episode, I'm still kind of like, okay, I understand your role, I understand who you are. And the main three really feel like compelling, interesting characters who are going to have a bit of a dynamic to follow throughout the show.
Yeah. Like, and actually, like, I find it funny how you like say, "Oh, Trigger had character development." I mean, some, but like, you give it a bit too much credit with the side cast.
It was very sparse, and it was really only for the main three.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, yeah, I really like, I like how strong form isn't introduced yet. Like usually, like Trigger was like episode 2 strong form, like already put on, but no, like there's like going to be like a little like a small rollout of power ups and to make like each form feel like special. I mean, like it's not like if I was writing this, I would wait strong form till episode 5. But hey, it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm. And I like that we actually take time to show that Kanata has to learn how to be Ultraman for a minute, and he's very much on his own in that regard. Like, he gets little hints from the Ultra, because clearly the Ultra is talking to him, even though they're not giving it an audible voice. But he's still figuring it out step by step, and that's another thing I really like, that this just immediately opens with 1 year later since the first episode. Like, it feels like this is a world where a lot of stuff is going on just outside the plot that we're following.
Yeah, and actually, like, maybe I'm overthinking this, but I think that this is a bit of a commentary on the COVID-19 pandemic, or like
I can definitely see a little of that being.
Yeah, like not like overt, but like just like maybe because this was drafted probably like after Trigger, and Trigger was like in production during COVID, so it's like. That's where I'm like, that's where my brain went. It's like, maybe it's in Spears, and it's like the lockout, like, I mean, maybe just a little, not like overt, but like.
And like these younger people having to step up to a way of life they're not used to. Yeah, I can definitely see it.
Yeah, that's just my stupid brain though. But yeah, like, good episode, good action. The first episode is very much the exciting premiere, and this one's very much like, let's take it back, let's chill, let's get to know these guys.
Figure out what the hell this show is.
Yeah.
Let's see. What can our Ultraman actually do? Does he have stands? Yes, he has stands. He can summon monsters.
Yeah, actually, that's super cool. Like, thank you for mentioning that, because it's like, oh, he's like Ultra 7, because I don't think, like, besides the Monster Tamer from, I Ultra monster battle. I don't think we've had like a mainline Ultraman who's like kind of done like summoning monsters since 7. So that's really
Okay,
cool.
I didn't even know there was a precedent for that. I was like, oh, that's a cool ability I've not seen before.
Yeah, like Ultra 7, like that's his entire like monster capture system actually inspired Pokemon. So it's really nice that they're like putting that in. And it's like also just nice to see monster cards in Ultraman being used for like something other than just like other than the evil guys. Like the good guys can use them too, and that's really neat.
Yeah, that's fun. I definitely like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and it makes like Decker's like little transformation device feel more special because instead of just there being like an evil variation, like it's like the only one we know of so far, and I don't think there's a toy listing for an evil version, so we're good.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if we got an evil Ultra in this show. It just doesn't feel like that's something they're going to do, but
Yeah.
who
Who
knows?
knows?
Toy
Yes.
sales are always possible.
Yeah. Although like Ultraman like seems farther like when they're like when Ultraman Z was airing, like there were like 10 episodes before they had to do a clip show and during COVID, so
I
like they film
forgot
these things
about
ahead.
that.
Yeah, they film these things like ahead of time. Like they get like especially because like the effects work, they focus on that. So um yeah, that's it's yeah, but Decker good. I can't wait. I'm actually legitimately excited to see the next episode. Not just because Strong form is the best looking of Decker's forms, but just because I'm enjoying the show. I want to see more.
Yeah, it's gone from being like, oh man, I hope this isn't shit, to like this is kind of like the second most enjoyable thing I'm watching right now.
What's the first?
Donbrothrs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the third, Kamen Rider Revice episode 44, devoting
This
it all to the results of determination.
this is like the eighth most enjoyable thing I'm watching right now. Not that this episode was bad. It had problems. There are problems we've had with Revice for a while, but
None of them are Hikaru related, so that's nice.
yeah, it's better than it has been in a while, and I'm gonna pin all of that just on the fact that Hikaru spent most of this episode on a gurney.
Yeah, although I still think 42 was better, just because like I feel like the Veil and Deathstream plot was done like like even if there wasn't like overt build up to it and the episodes leading to it, like 42, there was like we had like a build up ready that like this could go at any moment, and I really like that. Just like I
Yeah.
just really like that. Just that episode, just it hit hard, and honestly, I wasn't a big fan of this one. I'll be honest. Like some of it, just a lot of it seems like half baked and just more like we listened to you without like understanding. I don't know.
I feel like the biggest problem with this episode is that there's 2 episodes between it and the Deathstream episode. This should have come right after Deathstream.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Like, the fact that we spent another 2 episodes being like, is Daiji gonna join back with his family, or is he gonna be an evil fucker? Like, we already spent like 8 episodes doing that. We didn't need another 2 after his dad told him to snap out of it.
Yeah. Demons coming back was neat. I actually like someone pointed
Evil.
this out. Evil. No, Demons also came back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that. Oh, man, that was great.
Yeah, because like basically, like someone pointed this out, like his first demon's first tension, he lays his life to defeat like evil, but now he lays his life to help Daiji, which is super live, and I think that's a pretty cool full circle moment and good use. And also we have the demon suit back, so all is well in the world. I don't
I
have to be.
love that George was just like, drop the stupid fucking catchphrase, or I'm not giving you this driver.
Yeah, and then he had a super cool moment where he's like Daiji like says his catchphrase to him, and Hiromi's like, well, I can't say it, but I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
Man. It was
Yeah.
good. It's good. Conversely, though, I'm really interested in what's going to happen with George going forward, because clearly there's still a few episodes left, despite the fact that they beat GIF at the end of this. I really want to know what's going to happen to George now that his dad has passed, and clearly that fucked him up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like I think he was already dealing with it like pretty harshly because he was like he just didn't even want to see his dad suffering just because like he was too busy working on like the tools, which is very interesting.
Uh-huh.
I'm very curious where they're gonna take it because George, while he's always entertaining, I feel like his character like is always like in weird directions. Like it's a bit inconsistent, not like totally inconsistent because the actor just carries it, but like you could tell, like he goes from like weird, like
It feels like the writers had a plan for him, and then it kept getting changed.
yeah. He's still like one of the most entertaining characters in the show, though. And
Uh,
honestly, with Daiji, I don't know, something about that. Like, I don't know why, but I just didn't really vibe with the ability debut.
Really? Because I quite enjoyed it. I wasn't like blown away from it. I wasn't like Goat Raw Swag Kino, let's fucking go. But I was sitting there, I was like, okay, this is as close to what I wanted as we're probably gonna get, and it's nice. I'm happy that it happened. Still wasn't worth all the bullshit though.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm just like, was it worth it? Like, I just don't think like for me, Daiji just like I don't know, he just so like after just episode 26 just still like lingers in my brain as just like as just like a point where Revice changed for the worse. And I
There's
feel
a
like
really good concept with Daiji's arc of like
yeah.
clearly his character is all about you have to accept the worst parts of yourself in order to self-actualize and become the best part of you, the best version of yourself. Like that's literally everything that's being said with that transformation into the evil alive form.
Yeah.
But the execution of it has just been so muddled and dragged out that I feel like they really hurt the chances of having like one of the best secondaries in years.
Yeah. Although like we've had some pretty good secondaries in Reiwa, so
Oh, you a big Fua stan?
kinda like I like Fua and I love Blade. So
Okay.
yeah. But the other thing. Oh yeah, the thing is just I think I just the build up just like the moment is good. The build up just I just didn't like the build up, and I feel like build up is also like a big part of these moments. I'm starting to take note of.
Yeah.
And it's
Again,
just
this would have hit so much better if we hadn't had to wait another 2 episodes for it.
okay. You know what? I'm gonna like go on a limb. I keep coming back to like they shouldn't have like axed off Kagero for a while. They should like imagine this like they still have the battle, but he's like in a cell and we cut or, like in his brain and we cut to like scenes like occasionally of Daiji like saying, "Oh, you're not gonna get out" or something, and then he has to like get him out or I don't know, just like having Kagero
I feel like that would have exacerbated my feeling this taken too long.
Yeah, I can't. I just like maybe, but like I would have made the payoff better. Maybe I don't know. Either way, I just it's fine. I'm very interested. Like Vice had some like something about Vice about this show. I feel like that even though they're trying to market him, they're not using Vice as much.
Yeah, he has kind of blended into the background lately, though he gets some interesting scenes with Gift this episode.
Yeah, I'm just talking like in the show in general. Like you, for how like big of a mascot they were pushing him, he hasn't really like they don't really give him focus. I'm not sure if that speaks to the writer just not caring about this mascot to always try to push, or just like super like besides the racism thing, Subaru is just a very like busy voice actor that can't like record a bunch of lines. So I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know if I go that far. I feel like he's still had a distinct presence in the show. It's just he's not
Yeah.
been the focus for a while.
Yeah. I don't know what's going. Yeah, yeah. I just like I don't know. I like Vice the character. We've already discussed stuff with the actor, but so it's just kind of like annoying that like he's only like now like we're only now like kind of like doing like some extra stuff with him after he's kind of been like blended into the background ever since the Final Form debut, and even then the Final Form before the Final Form debut is kind of blended in. I don't know. I just wish they did it better. Like yeah, he needs to interact with. I want him to see interact with more characters besides Iki. Well, what you gonna do?
Probably. I feel like you're just kind of burned out on Revice in general at this point.
Yeah,
Is what I'm getting here. You're looking for things to be down about.
I kind of am. I'm kind of like I admit I am kind of grasping for straws, and I'm like, overall, like, I don't know. I know like it's a meme that like, oh, like like everyone getting hyped for Geats only to hate it in the second half. But like, I'm legit interested in Geats just because
I have not seen that meme at all.
Okay, well, you follow good people then.
But then again, like up until I did my big Twitter purge, I think it was late last year. I used to see that with Sentai all the time, where people would be like, "Oh, people are only going to watch 10 episodes of this Sentai, and then they're going to pretend like it doesn't exist." Like people are just fickle that way, and then people will get worked up about it because they feel like you should care more. And it's like people are going to care in the ways that they care. Like I have my problems with this episode of Revice. I still like the things it did overall, all. Would I have liked it if Hikaru had died and Tamaki had just taken his driver as well?
Maybe later. Maybe we
but
still
that's
got
gonna
episodes.
happen.
We still got episodes. We still got episodes, man.
There's still hope. There's still hope for him to die.
Yeah.
Die.
I don't know. That sounds like we're going into a bit of like weird territory, but yeah, what you gonna do?
But yeah, but like, hey, one little one I did really like, even though like they could have easily put it episodes ago. I love the opening where Daiji goes back to the happy spa and he starts being like, now we're not doing this. I'm like, that's badass.
Like people are calling their fight like they're fighting this episode pointless. No, that was actually one of the more warranted fights between them in this show.
It was like, as much as I was like, oh god, I'm not excited about that last week, it was better than the one they had the first time we made a big deal out of them fighting.
Yeah. Like, it's a fine episode. It's just it wasn't like, it's just we've been like dragging our feet with this arc for so long that just like, it's just, we're just kind of glad to have it done. And now
it seems like we're through the bullshit and like the next couple episodes are going to be like the proper beating the big bad and getting everybody's shit resolved.
Yeah, we got like 6 weeks remaining for Revice. We got 2 weeks of July and then the whole of August. Very interested to see where the show ends up.
Yeah. But I think that's enough Revice talk. Let's do some Sentai.
Yeah. Zenkaiger versus Kiramager versus Senpaiger.
This was a lot of fun. I really liked this.
Yeah, this was so funny. I love this movie, man.
This is the best Sentai versus movie I've seen in a hot minute.
Yeah, like I'm actually like I kind of like I'm not like that hot. Granted, I haven't seen that many, but from the clips I've seen, I kind of like feel like a lot of Sentai movies versus movies specifically get formulaic. Like I mean, granted, it's a formulaic show, but like so.
And it's like a total crapshoot whether or not it's gonna actually be an enjoyable version of the formula or not. Like you can't even tell by the trailers. Like I remember being so hyped for Kyoryuger versus Tokyuger, and then it was the most boring movie I watched all year.
Aw, dang. But no, this was it did some new stuff and it was pretty funny while doing it. Like it just had that good old Zenkaiger crackhead humor, especially like. I love how the bulk of the movie is literally them getting, what was the food called?
It's like a traditional Japanese.
Just like getting like just yeah. It was and like apparently like actual audiences in Japan were like hungry for that dish after the movie, which is amazing.
I love that they use it to kind of lampoon the whole Sentai versus concept, because like that's the closest we get to the two teams fighting each other. It's just like having a fun rivalry about who can eat this shit the fastest.
Yeah, and those character interactions, man. You got the really charming Kiramager characters, you got the crackheaded Zenkaiger characters, and they're all just butting heads and like having a dinner. It's like, man, this feels like a party movie. This is a party ass party.
Mm-hmm. And it's also just really fun in that like you get all these little references, you get this fun story advancement for so many different Sentai in this, even if it's just like a little micrometer of story advancement. And they're also doing the plot to Infinity War?
Oh yeah, with like, I gotta collect the stones to like destroy the world.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even notice that.
They gotta get the Infinity Stones. I mean Dragon Balls. I mean
Kirame stones.
Kirame stones.
We're not in the show. I think they're just MacGuffins made for this movie. How did you feel, since you haven't seen Kiramager, how did you feel about the Kiramager cast in this?
Kiramager casts were enjoyable. I was a little bit surprised by the Red at first because everything I saw from him in previews for Kiramager, he looked like a little baby man, and here he looks like a grown-ass man, so I guess he did a lot of growing over the course of the show.
Yeah, he did.
Their mentor, though, is horrifying. She looks like something I would have in a nightmare.
That's not their mentor, that's their, like, buddy. Their mentor's the pen apple pen guy. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, yeah, no, I knew he was in the show. I didn't know he was, like, the official mentor, because she's kind of presented as the mentor in this movie.
Yeah, he's, like, a big, like, I'm pretty sure it was already, like, a big name to get, so it's like, getting him for a versus movie would be extra money, so,
Mm-hmm. And, like, I know there's been weirder dynamics in Toku, but, like, the fact that her and the Six are siblings really for minutes.
No, that's a thing, yeah.
But no, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the villains in this movie. They were a lot of fun. Especially with the way they resolve the one guy of it being like, oh, he just wanted friends. Like he was a dipshit and he did some bad shit, but he just wanted friends. So we're just gonna give him friends and fix it. Like that feels like a very Sentai ass thing to do.
Yeah, very good old traditional superhero to help the fella out and make sure they're not being a dick.
And I love the way they handled the returning Reds too. Like obviously I swoon very much for seeing the Gold Troopers hang out with Marvelous for a little bit.
Yeah, it was just as hype as we imagined.
The bit where Zox is transforming and Flint is just dancing around in the background going, "My brother's the best, you ain't shit." I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and then we got all it was literally like, I know like fan service is becoming like a dirty word in these like, crossover movies, but like that was such a great moment.
Man. That bit in the opening when they come back from they're traveling across the worlds, which again, great that they followed up on that ending of Zenkaiger.
Yeah, like with Stacy's basically like doing political negotiations throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm. And they come back with gifts for him and Yatsude, and like you can see there's a Tokuger logo on one of the bags, and it's like a train set that the gift is, and then one gift is just a 6-pack of Enatron.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, and then like those get paid off as all those gifts are for Reds that show up later with Lupin Red and Gokai Red, and it's just and then the cool part is they literally just pull their roll calls with the like original actor voiceover, and it's amazing.
I was so happy about that because all too often it's silently posing or it's an obvious dubbed in person that they just pulled off the street. And
yeah,
I'm like, I know there's probably some kind of licensing fee or something like that, but just pull that footage if you're gonna have those Reds show up.
Yeah, it feels like those like classic YouTube edits that would get you hype about like Forever Blue or something,
Yeah. Oh man, I haven't thought about that kind of stuff in a minute.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it was so good. Like, just seeing just geek it out over like, oh, it's that guy, it's Takaharu, it's that guy. Yeah.
Me. Oh my god, I feel so seen.
Yeah, I was just like, well, technically, we had to cover the Ninja content this week, so what you gonna do?
Yeah, boy. But no, I had a lot of fun with this movie. Like even characters that I didn't recognize, I was still having a fun time seeing.
Yeah, it was super cool seeing Kyrie Lupin Red.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step all over you.
I just like. I really like Lupin Ranger for what I've seen, so I'm super happy to see him like back and stuff, and also just being cool thief and parkour, and it's just like that's some cool thievery.
Yeah, I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but I was like, it's cool to see this guy doing stuff, and it makes total sense that he would be hanging out with Marvels, because pirates are just another form of thief.
Yeah, I think that like legit, it's a super good decision to get those 2 actors specifically back. I know they probably already had Gokaiger for the 10th anniversary stuff, but like just also getting Lupin Red was a great choice.
So yeah, definitely check this movie out if you can. It's up on the Cat site anonymously, so go grab it and watch it if you're at all interested, because I'd say it's well worth the hour of your time.
Yeah, it's a very fun movie. Go watch it. Like, if you love Zenkaiger, Kira Major, or any Sentai, just go watch it. Have a fun time,
Mm-hmm. Might be a good gateway drug for both those shows, actually.
Yeah, it's like besides like of Rival Ranger getting redeemed, like it's pretty spoiler light. So, anyway, Avataro Sentai Donbrothrs episode 20. Nose in the air, Elgi. They don't miss, baby. They don't miss.
This episode was weird, but I didn't dislike it. It just, like, it's a very traditional Sentai plot, but it's executed in the Donbrothrs way, so it feels a little off-kilter at times.
I can see that, where it's like, it was very cute to see like Don Dragoku lead his own team, and also just getting I was literally like cheering when like they just stopped the episode to do Tsubasa character development, and then he just got that comedic moment. That's like, yeah, they know what I want. They know what I want.
They're not gonna find out who he is until like episode 40, are they?
Yeah, and it's amazing. I love that. Like they know I love this character and this dynamic, so just they just giving me more. I'm being so well fed with this show. Yeah,
but
and also
Like there was dead ass a moment in this where I went, "Oh shit, there's a monster of the week in this episode. How about
Yeah, I kind of forgot that. Like, it kind of appears midway through the episode as just like Ryu from Street Fighter or something.
That's the thing about Donbrothrs. Like it's good and it's fun, but that's because it ignores the Sentai format. And then eventually at some episode they have to do the Sentai format, and it feels really condensed because of that.
Yeah. Well, like in my opinion, it just like the way a Donbrothers episode works. It takes like a couple pieces of the Sentai format and then just like condenses the rest. It's like it does a couple pieces really well, then condenses the rest. But it just does it so well that like those pieces so well, it's just like you don't really mind, you know.
Yeah. But no,
like it's still
like,
very distinctly Sentai.
yeah, and there's a lot of fun little moments in this. Like it's interesting where like Donbrothers is similar to Zenkaiger, I'd say, but it has a key difference towards it. Where like they're both very comedy focused shows, but Zenkaiger's comedy mainly came from like this kind of goofy naivete, whereas Donbrothers it's more like just cynical annoyance at the way things are going. Like the beginning of the episode where they're running up that hill and it just cuts to Haruka going, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like well, Sonoi is like from like what people assume of him, a cynical kind of guy, so it makes sense like that. But like still like yeah, you know, and it's still charming. It still feels very likable. It's not like too aggressively like
or like the whole thing where we find out that Jiro and his girlfriend have just been going for the same song and dance since they were like 9 years old.
Yeah, and it's just like also just like like I think that ending stinger where it's like I'm not going to like that city, it's too much work, and it's like oh this dude is punished. And like especially because he turns into his tiger form, which is basically just a Kamen Rider Berserker form.
Yeah, they're calling it what did they say, feral Jiro?
Yeah, feral Jiro, or like the suit's called Torobolt, and very interested of where this is going. Like, is this like does he pretend? Because like he always like puts this face of optimism, but is that how he really feels about the world around him? Because he got like from his introduction episode, he's been like punished, like it just, but he still puts a smile on his face, but he doesn't really show. But then like once he pushed hard enough, then his punished side comes out. So it's just like, you know, that's interesting.
If I had to guess at this point, I'd say it's that like he's got some kind of control issues.
Yeah,
like he really wants things to go one way, and he's not able to accept the fact that they won't. And he's constantly asking to be in charge of the team, and he actually gets it for a little bit in this episode. And like the whole time, Kaito is like, "You're fucking up. You're not supposed to do things this way." And then finally, Kaito drops the other shoe of like, "You didn't actually lead them.
Yeah,
Fucking Taro pulled your ass out of the fire multiple times." And he's
literally
like, "My life is a lie. This is bullshit. Somebody's fucking me over somehow. It's all Taro's fault." Like you know what he fucking is?
a kid.
He's Venom.
Oh, I can see that.
He's Eddie Brock in his early appearances, because that was the whole thing with that. Like they've changed that character a lot over the years, but in Eddie Brock's original appearances as Venom, he was basically a play on the inverse of Spider-Man's "with great power comes great responsibility." Whereas like Spider-Man sees everything going wrong as his fault, and he has to always try and fix it. Venom sees things going wrong as it's somebody else's fault and the world is out to get me.
Yeah. Either way, I feel like this is still like something a lot of kids with anger issues, can relate to. So I just so just, you know, I feel like that this is just a good like thing to show, like, or just teach in a kid show like this. And then like but there's like, besides like the dramatic stuff, you know, it was nice seeing like Taro, like that little characterization of him. Like he's still like, even though he's still always helping out his buddies, even if he like treats them like trash sometimes, you know. Yeah, it just shows he does care, you know.
Yeah, he just cares in his own goofy Taro way.
Yeah, he's very like, yeah. I don't know. Like both Taro boys, Jiro and Momo, are like reminding me too much of myself sometimes, and I'm like, he just like me for real.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's bad. I think that's bad, but it's also funny in a way. Like,
That's
I
like
don't know.
that's like me 10 episodes ago being like, oh man, Daichi is like a perfect representation of a middle child, speaking as a middle child.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm like, yeah. But yeah, Don Brothers good. What else happened in this episode? I'm trying to remember. I
Uh,
think
uh, we're giving Kaito a lot more to do lately, and I love that.
yeah, and they also give him the speech, which like it looks like it was for a gag, but I wonder if that's like what's the deeper meaning behind it. His hero shtick is like we were joking about him being a mascot for Sentai, but is he the embodiment of all Super Sentai in this show?
Hey, I
Like,
know. I hope there's a point where like they just open the door on like, okay, this is how he went from the way he was at the end of, I guess, Senpaicher to how he is now.
yeah, I'm very curious. Or if it's like an alternate dimension one, either
Mhm.
way.
Wouldn't that
Or
be great if just like in episode 38, Senkaicher Kaito shows up and he's like, who the fuck's this weirdo?
yeah, it's like I feel it's tying into the movie. So if you're wondering why the who's it Brain Gang weren't are like talking about going to a movie, it's to tie in with the movie releasing in Japan that we won't see till Don Brothers hits its 40s because that's when it usually releases on DVD for the English translators to sub.
That weirdly like gave me Kamen Rider Gaim flashbacks when there's like that whole ass episode of just Kaito going to the soccer dimension.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, yeah, although it is nice that they're still trying to tie it in. Like, it's a bit annoying for us, but it makes sense for the target audience.
Or like, I don't know, just like it felt like a very, and I guess that's because it's in a way, but the way they handled it felt very Kamen Rider to me because like there's also the handful of episodes of Drive where weird future Crim is there, and then like those episodes of Ghost where just suddenly for no reason Spectre is really mad about dads.
Oh yeah, which I mean, like, it's not for no reason. There's like the movie like ties it in, but like,
Yeah, but they don't explain it unless you actually go see the movie. It's just he's like, "Fuck you for liking your dad, Ghost. My dads are bad. I won't say why, but I don't like dads." And
yeah,
then you
because they
go,
still want to keep it open, but they don't want to have it like too specific. Yeah, it's that weird have a cake and eat it too thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, Don Brothers good, Revice okay, Decker good. It's a good. When Tokusatsu is good when you don't have like people in your ear telling you it's mid.
Yeah. So shut up, Buster.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
I'm joking.
I know. Speaking of
Uh,
good
yeah. Tell
things,
me about the good thing you watched this week.
yeah, so I got a bunch of Garo Blu-rays because they were on sale at Right Stuff. And I still can't find TV Collection 1. Apparently that's just lost media now. And I decided to test one of them by watching Garo Kiba, which is based on on one of the villains of the first season of Garo. And it was pretty dope. You can really tell it's a budget film of how much green screen and like, budget saving techniques. Like, they're not every actor's in a scene.
It
There's
looks like they shot it in a weekend.
Yeah, it kind of does, but there's still a lot of charm to it. Like the actor for Kiba is very cool. I like him a lot, and the suit is one of my favorite suits in Tokusatsu ever. That's the main reason I want to watch it.
Oh,
Actually,
nice.
yeah, I just love that suit so much. The cape, the accent, just it's so good. And I just it was super cool to just see that in action and just like seeing more Kenta Mamiya goodness. It's still find it weird how they have this character here who is just like, oh, I really like Kiba, but she never appears in the show proper, and this is like a guidance in between episodes of the show, so like, and she's never, so it's like, whatever happened to her?
Yeah.
I guess like, Koga and friends defeated her off screen.
That should have been like an episode of Makai Retsudan.
Yeah, maybe it was planned to be, but they just didn't like get the actress back. Who
Entirely
knows?
possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've seen that before too. I actually have all the Kraken release Garo Blu-rays, including TV Collection 1. And I've watched them all the way through. And I do remember liking this, but feeling that like it was very noticeably cheaper than pretty much everything else.
Yeah, which like it's understandable, like especially with its placement in the story and like the structure. It's mostly just flashbacks, but it's still like a pretty cool showcase of what Kiba is and like good just nice extra Garo. It's the Garo equivalent of a cookie. It won't fill you, but it's nice to have.
Yeah, it's a nice little snack.
Yeah. it's good to just binge in between like your like just Garo. And I definitely do want to like get to. I've already watched the first half of Garo, so I want to like watch TV Collection 2 sometime. I don't know when. I want to finish the Ryuki video first, before it's like starting any shows. Maybe I'll do it in between like Ryuki and Fives. Who knows?
It's worth it. The original Garo series is like one of my favorite tokus. It's incredibly good, and it's honestly, in my opinion, there is no contest. It's the best first season of any big Toku franchise.
Yeah. Like, I get Dogengers is probably gonna be close up there, but it's not really big yet. So yeah,
I mean, I need to watch Dogengers.
Do it. It's only 12 episodes.
I didn't watch Black this week because I had to finish a thing.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
That's my life. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, it's fine. You're almost there. Almost there. Maybe okay. How about you watch Dogengers in between Black and Black RX?
I'll think about it.
Okay. How about you tell the audience what you're thinking as we close off?
I'm thinking that hey, you should subscribe to me on YouTube because I make YouTube videos. I got a new one. It's dropping on Thursday. It's technically not new, but it technically is because I spent 3 months re-editing the entire Power Rangers Mega Force Sucks saga into one big upload with a couple new segments and new fancy editing to get around Content ID. And if you like those videos at all, you've ever like gotten the itch to revisit them, now is the time, or rather this Thursday will be the time. So go subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/thevacuuminator, and get hyped to watch that. If you've watched it before, you can re-experience it. And if you've never watched it before, this will probably be the best possible way to experience it because a lot of those videos had to have chunks taken out of them and re-uploaded a couple years ago. And this is the first time the full versions will be available again in the best way I can possibly do it. So yeah, go check that out. Follow me on Twitter at the Vacuuminator and on Instagram at @_Vacuuminator. Where can I find you, Buster?
Hi, Buster Corp. Much like Vac, I'm aiming. I have not finished this video, but I'm aiming to get a Ryuki review this week. I don't know it will happen, but I'm not sure this week. But I'm aiming for this week. So go subscribe. We're close to 1K subs. I think we're currently we're close to 1K. Go follow me at the Buster Corp channel. I do a variety of stuff, but often do Toku because that's what you all want from me, you filthies. Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, I think that does it for this week in Tokusatsu. Very chaotic week, but not quite as chaotic as it could have been. So let's see you back here next time for whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.